Hey everyone, welcome back to Garner Reviews. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Veto Pro Pac MP1X tool pouch. See it sitting right here. Now this is an update to their MP series tool pouches. I think those are phasing out and this is going to be the new standard. I absolutely loved my original MP tool pouch. I didn't even get a chance to do a review on it. I was using it daily and I had a lot of good things to say about it, but the one thing that I was hoping that they would do, they ended up doing on this thing, and I'm so excited. So we're going to jump in, we'll talk specs, features, and why I think this is a great addition to anyone who's doing any sort of work with tools on a daily basis. Let's jump into the video right now. All right, so as you can see, again, this is a pretty minor update, but for me, it was a pretty important one to the original MP series tool pouches. Now, the big difference here, I mean, the kind of the obvious one is the colorway. Now it's kind of this all black with the black leather. It looks great. The original ones were kind of a brown and a leather mix. And aside from that, just right up front here, that's going to be kind of the obvious thing that jumps out. But the bigger update, and the one that I was really excited about, is what's on the back here. So as you can see on the back, you've got this nice heavy duty steel belt clip or pocket clip, whichever you'd like to say there. And that is on the back instead of having the belt loop. Now, the original MP1, or the MP1s, there was the MP2s, I think just the MPs, there's 3 sizes. This has three sizes as well. It had a leather loop with a snap on it, and you could run your belt through it and be off and on your way. Now that was great if you were planning on having the tool pouch on you all the time, all day long, which a lot of guys are. For my line of work, that wasn't necessary. I needed to be able to put it on me, work for a while, take it off, do a different task, and then I might have to come back to it and put it back on. So the belt loop with the snap and everything was less than ideal. There was also a bunch of reports that those snaps were breaking and that they would fail early. I'm sure Veto Pro Pac took care of that, but having to undo your belt or undo the snap and try and weave it through everything, it can be a little bit cumbersome. Now I know the obvious thing is going to be, well, they've got this great little pocket stuffer, that's what they call it, this really heavy duty section of leather. You can slip that down in your pocket and you can use the tool pouch and it's easily removable. And that's basically what I did all the time. And that works, and it works really well. However, it's not perfectly secure and you're stuffing something in your pocket. For me, a lot of times I have other things in my pockets that I want to also be able to access. So it's not the perfect situation, even though it did work. So the addition of this nice heavy duty clip, I think is going to really change how I use this, or maybe not how I use it, but how frequently I'm willing to actually use the clip versus just stuffing the pocket stuffer in my pocket. So I'm super excited about this. Let's dump some of these tools out. We'll kind of talk through what I've got loaded out here. Now this is very specific to me because I do facility maintenance, and these are the things that I've kind of found that I need pretty routinely. And as I work, I kind of find some new things and I tweak things here and there, but for now this has been working pretty well. So we're gonna get the camera in a little bit closer here. We're gonna dump these out and talk through kind of the pocket layout and what you may want to use this for. All right, we are back here. Let's take a quick look at this. I'll show you guys kind of how I have this loaded out. Now, one other nice little feature with this pocket stuffer is you can kind of kick it back here and almost use it as like a kickstand. If you need to take it off and set it up right, you can set it up, prop it up like that, and it works really good. Now up front, on this front pocket here, this is obviously like a tape clip. It's kind of like a protector, and it works great for throwing on a tape measure. I don't need one super often in my line of work. I just end up not needing one as frequently as some guys do. So I ended up fitting a scissor in here. Worked out really well. This is a pair of engineer scissors, and let's see if it'll focus. It is so shiny. PH 55s, I believe, is what that is. Yeah, PH 55s. Great pair of scissors made in Japan, very sharp. I like the size, works great for kind of all your basic cutting tasks, right? Besides having a utility knife. So it's got a great little sheath here, and I just slip it in that pocket and it fits really nice. And most of the time, you know, once it's in the pocket, I can just remove it and the sheath stays in there, and then I just throw it back in and go. Next up, I've got a couple of these spring tool setters, is I guess what you would call it. These are actually made not too far from where I live, which is pretty cool. What I really like about these is you've got kind of two different ends on each one. Let's get this camera to focus a little better. You've got a nice big blunt side here if you really need to smack something, or maybe hit like a hinge pin, something like that. As well as this side, this is a pretty good tip here that's not sharp or anything, just kind of slightly rounded, very blunt, great for striking things, driving them back in. So I've got that style there, and then I have this one here. Again, two different ends on these, and these actually just do a great job. And in a situation like this, I'm able to pack these around, and there's like a lot of situations where I may run into maybe a piece of trim and some finish nails or something's pulling out or something like that. I'm able to take this and knock things back in place, and I don't need a hammer with me all the time, which is great. So handy tools, worth their weight. Next up, I have two precision screwdrivers. Now these happen to be from PB Swiss because I absolutely love pretty much everything from PB Swiss. Their screwdrivers are amazing. The caps on these spin so freely. It's probably the most friction-free caps I've felt on a precision screwdriver. And I think this is a, it's a PH1 or 0. No, this one's a 0. So Phillips 0, and then I've got a slotted that's I think it's a 2.5. So pretty basic, but I run into a few situations where I need to be able to adjust small things, and these do the job really well. I've liked having these on hand at different times. Next up, we've got this awesome little light here. Now this actually is made by KTC, I believe, if I remember correctly. And honestly, it looks very similar to a light from, KTC. It looks very, very similar to a light from, Unilight, I believe. So I ended up getting this though, and it worked out great. It was with another order that I was getting from DRPD. Great little light. Again, you've got a light here, you've got a light on the end, you've got one on this side. This pivots, open, close. You've got a pocket clip here, and then you actually have magnet, and a magnetized base. So you have options for sticking this and working. And I won't blind you, but you can kind of see, got big, nice wide area light, one there, and kind of more of a traditional flashlight look here, which is pretty cool. So super useful. I use this a lot. All right, next up, let's get in the back here. So this flag driver, I really like it, and I use it just enough that I'm not sure if I would want to replace it. But if there's any tools in this pouch that I would consider removing and putting something else in, it would probably be this one first. High quality. Again, I just probably don't need two screwdrivers. This is 1/4 inch, it's magnetized, so it's like a bit holder, excuse me. PB Swiss, there's the model number on it. I love the ergonomics of these. It's just, like you have your traditional T-handles. This is kind of what I think they call like a flag driver or something similar, and it just fits really well. You can kind of get a lot of torque on a screw if you need to, and then just the ergonomics are top notch. Next up, we'll talk about the other big screwdriver here. This is the PB Swiss ratcheting screwdriver. It's a bit holding screwdriver. It's magnetized, incredibly strong magnet. This thing is absolutely awesome. I love the ergonomics of the PB Swiss. I love the handles, the texture, and just the material. It is phenomenal. The ratcheting feature is really nice. It is incredibly smooth. You can probably hear that there. Just buttery smooth. It does have a decent amount of back drag, so sometimes there are situations where I would love the ratcheting to work and it's just not quite enough tension back to actually work properly. But the fact that it's got a nice clean lockout that is very, very sturdy, no movement at all, makes this really handy. So for the most part, you know, you could easily replace this with a regular screwdriver, but I kind of treat it as one most of the time, and then when I run into a situation where ratcheting works really well, I've got it on me. So it is a little bit heavier and a little bit bigger than a normal bit holding screwdriver, but I don't mind the ergonomics, I don't mind the extra weight. It is just an absolute beast of a screwdriver. Next up is this bad boy, the Knipex twin grips. These things are absolutely phenomenal, and I think this might be one of my favorite Knipex releases in the last few years. You press this button here and you get a lot of adjustment here, and it essentially is kind of like a multi-purpose plier, but you do have this end here. Let's see if it'll focus up on me. It's kind of more of a screwdriver or a screw removal style end, and I've kind of mangled it, if I'm being honest. Now, don't take this as a knock against the Knipex. I have other pairs that look pristine, and I don't remember what I was doing with these. I remember thinking at the time, well, I'm probably going to ruin these, but I need to get this done, and I got it done, and I kind of regret doing it because I kind of chewed up the end here. But, you know, what is a tool if it doesn't get the job done, even if it's not quite the right tool for the job? So, absolute awesome pair. I love these things. These right in the kind of big back pocket here, and there's probably enough room. I could add another pair of pliers, and I may do that here soon. Okay, last two tools here. I'm just going to pull them both out at once. We have two more pairs of Knipex pliers. Of course, we're rocking some Cobras and the pliers wrench. These are both in the 180 millimeter size, which is a 7-inch size. Super versatile. For me, this size right here is just great. I handle so many different tasks. And then probably my next most used size would be the 10-inch model. So great size, it fits in the pouch really well. It adds a little bit of bulk the way I've got it set up, but it works, and I'm always glad to have these on hand. These are, again, some of the best pliers, honestly, out there. Made Knipex famous. All right, last up, we've got some railers here. I don't know if you guys have seen these. I can't remember whose YouTube channel I was watching, and they showcased these, and I thought, man, that looks perfect for what I'm trying to do. So it's just a great little bit holder. This one's kind of, it's a pass-through, but you can essentially fit 2 1/4-inch style on each end. Please focus up, camera. There we go. And right now I've got it kind of loaded up. As you see, I've got some Phillips up here on top. I've got an extra long one here and an extra long slotted in case I need that. 2 slotted down here. I might add a 3rd right here soon, but I've got 1, 2, and 3 Phillips. This end I've got some security Torx. Now I like these because for the most part I can use these in regular Torx, and in facility maintenance I run into security Torx enough that it is nice having these. So on these I've got a 40, a 30, 25, a 20. I may do some tweaking here in the future, we'll see. Of course I've got a couple of posi drives because I still run into them here and there. This side, these railers are empty, and what I'm thinking I'm going to do is probably add some hex, because I do run into plenty of those. I just need to settle in on some sizes, so I'll probably do some metric and SAE size hex on that, and then I might add a couple more Torx for the bottoms here and one more there. So that should get me really well covered on all things fastening. Now for the bag itself, you can see right here kind of the pocket layout. You have a big massive pocket right back here, great for, gosh, who knows what you could fit in there. Multiple pairs of pliers easily. And then you have another very generous pocket up here in the front. It's really stiff right now because this is fairly new and I'm breaking it in, but once you get some use in this all kind of, softens up a bit. It still holds the tools really well, but it will soften up, which is nice. Then on the sides here, both ends, you have 2 pass-through pockets, which is great for screwdrivers or anything that's a little bit longer and narrow. Of course, I have screwdrivers in there, but you can do other things. You have these 4 kind of pockets here between my index and thumb. Those are great for kind of just a variety of things. I have the 2 front ones in use with the precision screwdrivers, the micro screwdrivers, and then the 2 back pockets I actually just slide the handle, one side of the handle of each of my pliers in there, and the back handle just kind of hangs out in the air. I've never dropped one of those, and I've moved around quite a bit. I've kind of jostled them and they stay in there very secure, so no real concerns there. Then up here you got these 2 really small pockets. They're pretty thin, so for me, the spring tools, let me grab them here, they fit in there very nice and tight, and they, you know, drop in deep enough that it's pretty usable. So I push those in there. You could probably do something else, obviously, but that works out great for me. And lastly, you got this front pocket here with this nice protector for your tape measures. So great pocket there. I use mine for a pair of scissors because I don't need a tape measure daily, typically. So again, here it is. You got this nice pocket stuffer feature on the back. It is super thick, very robust, and it works really well. And then this clip, that thing is, man, it is stiff. I have no concerns about that opening up or falling off. It's very deep, so works great. It'll fit around your belt or down on a pocket if you want to do that. So, all right, everyone, I hope this has been fun. I'm gonna pack this thing up because I have to go to work in the morning. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it was helpful. Let me know what you think of the MP1X. Do you guys like this upgrade, or did you like the belt loop a little bit more? For me, this thing really takes the cake. It's just a great tool pouch for my situation. So let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I will catch you guys in the next one.